close your eyes, does it almost feel like nothing changed at all? And if you close your eyes,
what a finish! It's back-to-back titles for the Heat.
Again, San Antonio. We are back deep in the heart of Texas for round 2 of the finals between the Heat and the Spurs. AT&T Center already abuzz as fans from both teams are here. All friendly banter so far. And see, this is proof that you can agree to disagree and still be friends. As for the players, Dwayne Wade, look, he looks pretty loose, chatting with Gary Payton. Chris Bosh's teammate coming off that excellent conference finals looking for his 3rd ring. And Manu Ginobili, he already has 3 rings, looking for number 4 at 36 years young. While 38-year-old Tim Duncan, he's looking for number 5, all with Greg Popovich leading the way. On the court as well, hence the boos you hear in the background here at AT&T Center. The 2-time defending champs trying to make it 3 in a row with LeBron James leading the way. We're counting you down to Game 1 of the NBA Finals right here on ABC. Think back, Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals against the Pacers. LeBron James had the worst playoff game of his career. 7 points, 5 fouls. He was not happy with his performance, obviously, very frustrated. But apparently, he wasn't the only one in his house who was unhappy about it. Listen.
After I came home from Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals this year, obviously we got home late from Indiana, and so I got up. It was a late day. I was in the kitchen about to eat, and my oldest son comes to me. He say, 7 points and 5 fouls. And he just walked away. I said, you better get away from me right now. That's exactly what he said. He wasn't like nothing else. He was like, 7 points, really? You only had 7 points and 5 fouls. He's like, I could do that in my sleep.
Oh, we've got that bad taste in our mouth still.
Across the lane, Duncan misses the tip, no good. The 2013 NBA championship resides once again in Miami.
People keep talking about it like we weren't close to winning it. We were ready last year. We just couldn't get over that hump.
We're back here, and we're excited about it, and we got 4 more to win. We'll do it this time.
Knee drain during this year's playoffs. He's more effective and efficient during this run. The resurgence of Rashard Lewis, who came out of nowhere, is knocking down threes.
You're pinning him, Rashard Lewis?
He made 5 threes in an NBA playoff game, because you talked about a lot of those guys that are necessarily not marquee names, but they have a huge impact. Patty Mills, Boris Diaw. They're going to...
The last 2 teams standing.
Give them nothing, man, and take everything.
Just play with that tenacity, that aggressiveness. Everybody in the world is watching us.
Put ourselves in a position to compete for what we want to get, dog. And we're here now, so make it count. This ain't game 1 for us. Every game is a game 7. Every game is a game 7, and treat it that way.
Every game is a game 7, and early on, they played that way, guys.
The Spurs were a little bit sloppy with the basketball, but you got to give the Heat credit. They were really active. Their hands getting deflections. The Spurs had 10 turnovers in the first half.
And then Doug Collins, when you see Manu Ginobili get going, you see the look on Doug's face.
Points. If one of those guys, if not 2 of those guys, don't get going, it may be a slow second half for the Spurs. But again, for the Heat, when you have Wade attacking, LeBron James being aggressive, Ray Allen knocking down open threes, all of a sudden the role players going to get more room to operate.
Here's the problem for my
closing out on the 3-point shooters, and you can see the spacing of the floor. When Diaw was on the floor with Kawhi Leonard, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, and a big, they went wherever they wanted to go, and Ginobili played, Bellinelli played very well off the bench.
But adjustment's going to be to play Boris Diaw.
To lead the way for Miami, but right now they are down 5 in Game 1 of the NBA Finals on ABC.
After I came home from Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals this year, obviously we got home late from Indiana, and So I got up. It was a late day. I was in the kitchen about to eat, and my oldest son comes to me. He say, 7 points, 5 fouls. And he just walked away. I said, you better get away from me right now. That's exactly what he said. He wasn't like nothing else. He was like, 7 points, really? You only had 7 points and 5 fouls? He's like, I could do that in my sleep.
Me and you hug, yeah, hug. I just get the media something to talk about, because they ain't got nothing else to talk about.
James looking over to the Heat bench prior to that timeout saying, time to get me out. Need a timeout. That's what Eric Spoelstra did. And James is wired again for us.
Like, you done played the whole game already. I'm going to need some colder water now. They're trying to smoke us out of here.
A 31-9 run after the Heat led by 7. And look at that shooting. 14 of 16 from the field, 6 for 6 from three-point range. Let's check in with Doris and Tim Duncan.
Tim, you ended this game on a 31-9 run. What went into that?
We stopped turning the ball over. Yeah, we stopped turning the ball over. All of a sudden it turns into us with ball movement and our shooters getting open shots. It's what we've been trying to get to all game long, and we weren't able to get to it. They were too much in the passing lanes. Their defense was too aggressive, and we just couldn't find a way. Kept pushing, and we found a way.
What kind of physical test was it in here in this arena with the temperature being what it was?
It was significant. Yeah, it was definitely a factor. I don't know what happened to LeBron, but I think all of us were feeling the heat. We're all dehydrated. We played through it, found a way to win.
What's it like watching their best players struggle and not be on the floor as an opponent trying to finish a game off?
You know what? In this situation, I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about trying to get that lead back, trying to get that win. Obviously, you don't want anybody to get hurt, but all we're focused on is trying to get back down the other end and score.
Tim, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mike.
All right, Doris, clearly the heating problem or the lack of air conditioning, a huge impact, and will be talked about after this game. James had to leave the game for good with 7.5 remaining in the fourth, and his team up by 2. They're cramping up, too painful to continue, and a painful loss for Miami. For the second straight year, though, in a finals matchup between these two, the San Antonio Spurs take game 1. Final score 110-95.